you know, they were stunned, but in fact Peter was dazzled into a kind of temporary childhood, because he said a really dumb thing like, "Oh Lord, can we make booths, little leafy booths, little tents, little bivouacs for yourself and Elijah and Moses?" This is, you know, so he had a flashback, literally with a flash of Jesus, a flashback into a sort of infantile stage, because it was just so dazzling. And we shall be like that in the kingdom. Now, if we're going to be that bright in the kingdom, like Adam and Eve, like Elijah going up in the fiery chariot, and like Moses coming down from the mountain, and like Moses and Elijah and Jesus on the Mount of Transfiguration, and the two bright angels at the tomb of Jesus, and the two last prophets. Now, if we're going to be as bright as that in the kingdom for 1,000 years, with glorified bodies, as bright as Adam and Eve, as bright as Elijah going up in the fiery chariot, as bright as Moses coming down from the mountain, and as shining bright as Elijah, Moses and Jesus Christ on the Mount of Transfiguration, and the two last angels seeing Jesus ascend on the Mount of Olives, and probably the two last prophets will be bright because fire comes out of their mouth. And Jesus says this brightness, that an angel stands in the sun. There is an angel standing in the sun. So this is a perfect camouflage for an angel, because one brightness camouflaging the other brightness. One no brighter than the other. And you cannot look at the sun, it's so bright. It hurts your eyes, it will make you blind. Now if we're going to be that bright, think how much brighter we shall be in heaven itself, in the glory of glories, in the glorious eternity of heaven, where there's holiness and purity, and God himself reigns, and all the heavenly host, and glory mounting upon glory. Now that is why, one of the reasons why we cannot see God, because the brightness is too great. The brightness of his coming will kill the wicked. They're not ready, they're not built up in brightness themselves. Only brightness can receive brightness. Only the spiritual man can see spiritual things. So the brightness of heaven is so bright that God has placed a glass darkly, the black matter, the dark matter of space, the exploding devil matter, which absorbs light. Because there is a war in heaven going on right now. And when we see exploding stars and exploding galaxies and so on, what we're seeing is a glorious angel who has rebelled, being cast down into a lower state of blackness and heaviness and smallness. So they're being made small, they're being made dim and dark, and they're being made dense and heavy. So, if people say, "I've never seen a devil, I don't believe in a personal devil," just point to the heavens. And God, throughout the scriptures, says that the stars and angels and stars, and the sense grows that this is not just a figure of speech, that we shall be like the angels and number as the stars in heaven, which suggests to me that the people, the remnant who survive this age, go on into the kingdom. It's in heaven that there's no giving nor taking in marriage. In heaven we shall be like the angels, but in the kingdom of God we shall be like Adam and Eve. It's like paradise restored, or paradise again. I call it paradise again. And this paradise again for 1,000 years we may see new, glorified children. In fact, who live the full 1,000 years, as we do ourselves. So this is what's on the table, folks. This is what God is offering us. This is the free gift. It's a gift with qualifications. It's a gift showing you that it is also a further test, because at the end of paradise again, instead of just a couple of 2 people and maybe their children in paradise, there are now possibly many billions of people, and on a much increased earth, probably a new earth. So there will be maybe billions of billions or trillions of children and adults, growing up into full maturity by the time of Gog Magog. But alas, some will fail the test. Some, only some. Probably less than a third of the glorified ones, of the new paradise, of paradise again, of paradise restored. But it's not like the old paradise. It's an entirely new earth, and Zion itself and Jesus Christ will reign therein. So it has many distinct advantages from this time and from paradise before. But again,